Yeah, this is awesome. What a great opportunity to talk about our business here.
How do you feel right now?
A little bit nervous, to be totally honest.
Participants, you want to whet their appetite, so they want to give you a full interview. So, ready.
The current rate just to click that ad to go to ESPN.com is $5,000, which I've created some of this technology before. It doesn't cost $5,000 to do. It's almost like highway robbery.
Basically, is this like canned goods from around the world?
And one of our main advantages is, being at Columbia with a lot of international students, every single country, the products are sourced by someone from that country. So the idea is that you're getting a lot of local experts who are the ones choosing these products.
What is your plan to make sure the business is sustainable?
People want that experience of finding out about other cultures. And I think, that is not something that's going away very soon.
I'm a current MBA here at Columbia. We actually started just with the top 10 business schools. So we've been building brand ambassadors at different campuses, and we're working on a pretty exciting ultimate intern competition where we're actually going to be for the student that refers the most of their friends to join Perkla, we're going to fly them to New York for an all-expenses-paid week here, and they're going to do internships with Cole Haan, Nine West, and a whole bunch of our partners, which we're pretty excited about.
Instead of seeing strangers' reviews the way you would on Amazon, you see reviews from your social network.
What if you don't have a lot of friends who have babies and things? How do you keep the attention of the customer?
There's Facebook and Twitter, but anything you're posting on your Facebook wall disappears within 24 hours. What parents do right now, actually, to collect information that they trust and rely on is collect spreadsheets from their friends with lists of baby products that they recommend. And it sounds completely crazy, but we've got hundreds of them that we've gotten from our users. And we're seeing already that our users are off the charts in engagement.
It's a dispatch service, basically. It's in the Uber sense, as Time said, right? Plus, you mentioned medical training as well. Is that kind of the nut of it? Or?
This really represents a sea change in how emergency medical care is provided in these countries, because at the moment, by and large, there is none. And in fact, the World Health Organization has said that between 1% and 5% of developing countries' GDP is spent on care for the injured. That's an extraordinary amount of money. And basically what we're saying to corporations and to governments is that it is more expensive for you to not do anything than it is to make even the most basic improvements in the systems that already exist.
Nice work, everybody. Great. Close by room. It's a really good group, isn't
Yes.
it? Really
Yeah,
good.
yes.
Really impressive. What this competition is all about is who gave the best pitch.
Got it.
Who
Okay.
sort of really intrigued
that's
you.
it.
It was a great and difficult deliberation, as it always is. And I got the judges to agree to to interview 4 of you.
So obviously we're a little bit pre-revenue. What's your expectation?
And going into 2014, we have estimated around $1 million in revenue, and then in 2015 about $2.5 million.
My first question for you is, how did you start the business? What made you decide there was a need for what you're doing?
The real story is that when I was pregnant, I walked into a Babies R Us for the first time and promptly burst into tears. I saw a wall of baby bottles in front of me, and I thought, if I can't make a decision between these, how am I going to actually make the tough decisions about being a parent? So that was my problem as a parent, but also wearing my MBA hat, I saw a really big gap between what people were sharing on social networks and where people were shopping.
So how would you define your success?
What we aim to do is kind of create this kind of cultural understanding of other people. So I think what we would see as success is for people to kind of have this knowledge of other cultures and create a more inviting environment for people who are traveling and for people to understand each other better.
You briefly mentioned the churn. 25% of your population is going to sort of age out, if
Right.
you will. And you touched upon how you might want to handle that. Can you explain further about
Yeah, so luckily the opportunity right now after going after students is gigantic, and there's 20 million of them in the US. So we have to have a bit of tunnel vision right now in terms of what we're doing, and that's right now focused on signing up as many students as we can and going out there, and that's a pretty big task. That said, for sure, in the future, the idea will be to build a product that can retain those students after they graduate.
We do order them, 1, 2, 3?
We do.
Oh, do we?
I think so.
We have in the past.
Okay, great.
Usually with the winner and then the runners-up.
Of course, in the past, we had prizes for each level.
We have prizes.
Oh, I thought you said,
We don't have wine. We have other little treats. But we do. We have,
you mentioned that.
we have presents.
Oh, that's sweet.
A 6-month subscription to Crains.
They get the publicity.
And so I will start with the third runner-up is Parlasa. Congratulations. The second runner-up is Try the World. The first runner-up is Perkla.
Did you guys have a specific criteria you followed to determine the winner, or was it just kind of based on feel?
No, a lot of it is, honestly, these pitches were all extremely polished, I think just from the start of the competition, which made it tough, and I feel like they were very close. A lot of it, has to do with how you present the business model. Is it persuasive? Have you thought through the many different angles of building a successful business? Are you not just persuasive, but honest about the realities of a business? I mean, we look at it through a lot of different lenses from having interviewed many businesses, or in Trish's case, working with a lot of businesses.
I'm sort of on the other side of the fence, if you will. I'm a marketing promotion salesperson, and I think what Elaine said resonates with me in that what you need to do is make your argument, no matter what it is, compelling and understandable. Like, for instance, there was an editor at Harvard Business Review that once said to me, I edit so that a global business leader will not be offended by my article, but I edit so that my mother can somewhat understand it. So, I mean, I think you sort of have to not dial it down, but really, be careful of jargon, be careful of insider speak, so that, we can understand what you're trying to pitch to us, and that'll make it a much more valuable experience.
So the Crains competition was a really terrific experience for us in that it helped us bring our media to a new level and presentation skills. The coach that they brought in was phenomenal and really shared good pointers. I don't think it was any mistake that the 4 finalists were people who had done that workshop with her. Being able to really hear from someone who had considered stories and thought about stories from a journalist perspective. The conversations we had about angle were really helpful as well, especially for us as a company that is a consumer-facing company talking to business press. So really important for us to be positioning WeSpring not just as a site that is a terrific resource for parents, but as a place that brands can get unparalleled insights into their consumers and really amplify the word of mouth recommendations that are so valuable to them. So I got my start in politics, and what I loved about politics is that because it's a lot of really young people who are just digging in and rolling up their sleeves, there are really no barriers as to how much you can accomplish and what you can get done. So if you are 24 years old, doesn't matter. You can start leading something, because there's a big void that someone needs to step into. You're understaffed, everyone's overworked, and it's really the same with startups. That it's a meritocracy. It doesn't matter what your experience is, as long as you're bringing energy and determination to it, you can get it done. So I don't have to think about corporate procedures and policies and decision-making chains. If I get an idea, I can get an idea and execute it. And that's the most rewarding thing about all of this.